online with Amr the Internet Guy. Stream it today on your favorite podcast platforms. This podcast focuses on entrepreneurs and business owners, helping them become more successful in conducting their business on the web without being stuck with technology, getting a headache, pulling their hairs out, or buying expensive software.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 2 of our mini-series of Online with the Internet Guy. So I've promised you that we're going to be discussing hosting today. So if you have an intention to build your first website or even your second or your third website, if you want to build a website on your own and you're not planning to hire a website designer or developer to help you or build it for you, 9 times out of 10, if you're not a techie, you're going to run into problems with some tech stuff that takes hours of research and watching videos on YouTube. I don't want you to do that, and I want to give you everything straightforward as it comes. So today we're discussing hosting. Rule number 1 of hosting: do not go and host with an unknown company because they're cheap. Rule number 2: do not go for the cheapest plan that you see advertised online. There is no lifetime hosting. Nobody can sustain this. No sane business can give you a hosting service online with good tech, fast and secure and safe servers, right? Without you having to pay a monthly subscription or an annual subscription. It just makes no sense when you see these advertising pop up here and there and promise you the land and the moon for $1.99. It's too good to be true. If it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. So only work with reputable companies. Who are the companies that I would recommend for hosting? In no specific order, I'm going to give you the names of the companies that I have personally used and continue to use. So you've got NameHero, you've got Greengeeks, you've got SiteGround, you've got A2 Hosting. Didn't mention GoDaddy. Yes, you can use GoDaddy to register your domain, but from an experience of 20 plus years, do not use GoDaddy hosting. They just have, many of the clients that I worked with before in the past have had so many problems, but some other clients did not have any. So don't take it as if I am against GoDaddy or anything like this, but from experience, I'm telling you that the companies that I used without any problems, and these are the companies who are reputable as well. They have good support. They answer the support tickets really quickly. Some of them even have telephone support numbers, mostly in the United States, but in general, they also have support by phone. So I used NameHero, Greengeeks, A2 Hosting, as well as SiteGround. All of them have servers in the United States, on the East Coast, on the West Coast, and have servers in Europe, in different countries in Europe, like in the UK and Holland and Germany. Many of them also have servers in Canada. Now, should I choose my hosting based on where I'm from or based on where I live? Absolutely not. You should choose your hosting based on where your clients are, because this makes your website load faster for them. And that's exactly what you want. So if your main market is the United States, you want to choose a hosting service or a hosting server in the United States, right? If most of your clients are in the UK, you want a hosting server that's in the UK. If most of your clients are in Canada, again, you choose a server that is based in Canada, and so on. You get the idea now. So choose wisely. If, again, let's say most of your clients are in the United States, are they East Coast or West Coast? So you can choose the location of the server based on where your clients are. That makes your service or your website load much faster for them, which is what we all want. Number 2, do not go for the cheapest plan you see. Yes, some of these companies will have an entry plan, so look there wisely. Don't go for one plan that has only one website. I assure you, you would need a new domain and a new website sooner than you think. So it's easier just to go for the next one. Go for a middle, don't go for the cheapest one. Don't go for the most expensive one. Go for something that's in the middle that will have 5 websites, 3 websites. Some of them would tell you unlimited websites. Of course, it's not really unlimited, but that's another discussion for another day. But anyway, so go somewhere. I mean, a good hosting plan nowadays is not expensive. It's probably somewhere around $4 a month or something like that, $5 a month. So that's kind of a starter plan. A really, really good hosting plan, I would say, is between 20 and 40 US dollars a month based on which host you choose. Like some of our hosting plans, we call it the platinum plan. It's the ones that we do in my company. I think it's $16.99 US dollars a month. It's unlimited websites. But I'm a reseller for Name Hero. You don't have to take anything from me directly. You can just go directly with Name Hero yourself. They're pretty good. I love the support. I've never had any issue with them that was not solved within 24 hours max. Anything. Whatever I do, whatever happens. I've recently used another company where I was able to actually get my own private server for me. So I'm not sharing my hosting with any other client. It's just me on that server. That's not cheap, but it's still for somebody like me with heavy traffic and someone who wants to play around and break things. I can't do this on a shared hosting, which is the one that is charged for $4 or $5 or $10 or $16. This is what we call shared hosting, because on each server, each one of these companies will have many of their clients using the same server. So you're just renting a piece of their storage, cloud storage or a hard drive, and that piece is on a web server. So their server is already active, is already online, they already have security and stuff on it. And then all you need to do is just to place your website there, and your website becomes visible to the public. Of course, there are some settings that we'll go through over the next videos and the next tips and tricks that we'll do in our mini series. But that's the idea. Once you rent that place, which we call hosting, you're able to build a website or a page, a landing page, or an index page as we call it, and it will be visible to the public, meaning it will be online, available online. So yeah, use a reputable company with good support. Do not go for the cheapest plan there that you see. Use somewhere in the middle. Anything between $5 and like $20 a month, US dollars, is pretty good. And at the end, you don't want like a very restrictive hosting plan, and you want it to be easy to use. If you ask me, if the hosting company that you go to is showing you like a choice between control panels, which is like a dashboard where you see everything and you install stuff like installing WordPress and stuff like this, choose the one that comes with what we call a C panel. C as in the letter C. So it's called C panel, control panel. That's the easiest thing to use. And I'm going to be building a course or a mini course to show you how to use C panel, how to use everything in the C panel and set it up correctly. And I may also maybe include one episode in this mini series, maybe quickly going over and talking about C panel. Now, one last question before we go. Now, if I buy a domain name and I buy a hosting, how do they connect to each other? Like, what do I need to do? Is there anything? Is it automatic? Do I just pay for the hosting and then my website is just ready to pop online once I put something in there in the hosting? The answer is yes and no. Okay. Yes, because all what you need is a domain name and the hosting. So if you buy both, you're ready to go. Basically, you're ready to go. And no, because there's one component that is missing here. This component is called the DNS, or the domain name system. By the way, if the DNS or the word DNS scares you or scares some of your colleagues and the people you've worked with before, I have a full course on that. It's about 2 hours instruction. And if you just head over to theinternetguy.training, you'll be able to subscribe to that course, and it will teach you everything you need to know about the domain name system as well as email. Because usually when you buy your domain name, you want to have a website there, and you also want to have your name at yourdomainname.com, which is a professional business email that will make your emails look professional when you send them to clients and prospects, rather than just sending an email from a Gmail or a Hotmail or a free account. So in order to handle getting your professional email set up and getting your website DNS set up, I have a full course for that. You don't have to take the course. We're going to be giving you some tips and tricks here in this podcast and this mini series. But if you feel that you want to learn more, especially about email, what makes it work, the common mistakes to avoid, and things like that, head over to theinternetguy.training and look down here below this video. I'll put a coupon code for you to get a discount if you feel that course is for you. Anyway, enough about the course. Let's go back to the DNS, or the domain name system. What does it mean? Us as human beings, it's easy for me to tell you, head over to theinternetguy.training. You remember that. You write it down when you go home, or right after watching this video, or while watching this video, you type it in, you get to my website. It's easy. What if I told you instead go to 35.168.22.10? You wouldn't remember the number. You wouldn't remember how many dots. It's complicated, right? Servers, machines, devices, online, computers in general, they don't use names, they use numbers, right? Remember, computers work using numbers. The binary system is numbers. It's ones and zeros, right? So computers, they communicate with each other using these numbers. We call it the IP address. It's called Internet Protocol. IP is short for Internet Protocol. So it's the IP address that everyone on the internet is using, that your hosting company is using. When you go and purchase your hosting, you'll be given an IP address. This is called shared hosting, unless you get your own server with a dedicated IP address. Usually you'll be purchasing shared hosting, and they'll give you an IP, and that IP will be your IP as well as every client of their clients that's on the same server. It's one IP address, and when people type in your domain name, something translates that name to the IP address, and then goes on and contacts the server that is hosting, which is your hosting, the server that is hosting your content, and then the website will display, if you've built your page or your website there, it will then display to the visitor. So what lies between the domain name that you registered and the hosting that you bought is just a small DNS setting that you will need to do. And we're going to be covering that when we go in and start talking about building a landing page or a website. I'll show you exactly. Probably maybe instead of me talking to you like this, I'll probably share my screen and show you how it's done. This makes it easier for everyone. Thank you, and see you in the next episode.